Hi, I'm Shane Smith with C-Hero. We're going to go through some stuff in this video. We're going to talk from top to bottom about the whole system and how it fits and how to make it fit or whatever you have to do, and the operation of the unit itself. So the C-Hero Rescue Davit is designed for portable. It's a portable man overboard lifting device. It's designed to go on the bits of your boat, outboard. So every bit on the boat is different. So this is where it starts. So we've got to figure out the right height, and if there's a flange that comes on the top, so like a little top hat where it's sticking out, that may or may not work. So we're going to figure out where we need to put this. So some boats only have a bit on the shoulder and nothing on the quarter, so that becomes obvious. So we're going to use the one on the shoulder. Some bits, the ones on the quarter are a lot taller than the ones on the bow. For instance, maybe it'll be 3 feet tall versus 2 feet tall. 3 feet is really too tall for this unit. It'll just be obstructing it on the unit. So the rescue davit, a lot of people say, well, why? I don't want to put it there wherever there is, some on the bow, some on the quarter, whatever. I want to be able to see the whole operation. But what's happening is that whether this goes on the bow or it goes on the quarter, you're going to be able to see the whole operation because you want to get lower to the water, and you're going to use the rescue pole. The rescue pole will reach down, get the person, and all you're going to do at where it's coming up, if it's on the bow, is you're just going to be pulling the slack, reeling them up, and bringing them in. So all the operation is really, the person would be able to see the operation. So what we want to focus on is getting this bit decided which one you're going to use. And ultimately, when it's decided, it really should end up in the galley on a placard saying, wherever your bit selection is, whether it's the shoulder or it's aft, that is your place for the rescue. And on that placard, it should also say where your rescue davit is mounted, so people know instantly that's what we're using. That's where it is. That makes it easy. So on the bit itself on the boat, you can see we've got our tape measure. This bit here is 90 degrees. Obviously some boats are 90, some of these are taller, some of them are shorter. Typically on the shoulder up forward, they're going to be shorter than they are back aft. Sometimes they're the same. And actually, same time, some of these bits, let's say they're both the same, forward and aft. Then in that case, if there really isn't any difference on the bit size and the unit will fit, I would think that the next thing to do would be to talk with the crew. So the crew may have an idea of where they want this. Like for instance, I don't want to do it on the quarter, I want it up on the bow, or vice versa. That should be a crew decision. If it will only really work on one place or the other, if it works best on the bow, then that's kind of taken care of. The top, like I said, if you've got a bit, like usually the older the boat, they've got the little top hat flange up here, and it sticks out. It could stick out 5/8 of an inch. So anything more than about 3/8 of an inch is going to need to be cleaned up. And that means that you're talking about 6 inches or so. If it came out here, you would be talking about an area right in this area right here, so that the unit will fit flush against there. Because what you're trying to do is get these feet that will fit on here, they'll be fitting onto this unit, like so. So if this is out here, it's not the flange, it's going to impede the whole thing. The other thing you want to look at is the base. So the unit itself has these side stabilizers, and so it's gonna the unit is gonna fit outboard on the bit. It's gonna sit down, and those side stabilizers should sit right on there. If for some, every boat's different. If for some case, maybe there's a piece of tubing, so like, let's say the bit comes up like this, and there's a tubing right here, and the side stabilizers aren't catching that tubing, there might have to be some something fabricated to fit so that those will fit and rest down there nice and easy. It keeps that motion under control. So what we're doing is we're establishing which bit, and what we're looking for is that it's going to be nice and clean down here, it fits, and if there's something up top here, well, that might have to be cleaned up. And the other thing you do see too on some of these bits is they welded maybe the cap on the top of the bit. So some of these bits will have a nice dome to it, and that could have been welded on, so that when you put the unit against on the outboard side, it's preventing the feet from getting good contact. So that little area with that weld where they would hit might need to be cleaned up. And it's just getting a little grinder and just cleaning it up a little bit and then prime and paint. It's no big deal. So that's really where it starts. Let's figure out the right bit, and if anything needs to be done. Maybe a port engineer needs to be called in or whatever else to get that taken care of. If the bit is too short, like let's say, or it's too tall, so you can see right here, this is about 2 feet. So you can use our tape measure and you can look at that, okay? If your bit, both bits, you don't have a bit that's less than 26 or 27 inches, it's probably going to be a problem that we can deal with. So you can call us or email us and we'll deal with it. If the bit was too short, let's say it's only 1 foot, that's probably going to be a problem that we should have known about ahead of time. So a phone call or something like that would be warranted, and we can put another top strap on that will secure the top. So let's say this bit was only 1 foot tall. If the bit was only 1 foot tall, you would have your bottom strap and your top strap would have to be relocated to be at the furthest point up here. But then you've got all this unit that would be exposed. So we would want to put another top strap to give you security, so that that top of the unit is not just hanging out in the middle of the wind there. It's got to be supported. Some sort of A-type structure, a nice angle there. So that's what we're looking for on the bits. These bits, again, depending upon what boat, or it's a tractor, it's an older boat, whatever, these could be rolled in. So you might see the bit rolled in on the boat. That's not a problem because the unit will fit on just fine. Really where the situation comes in, and we'll get to that when we get the unit, is we want to make sure that the thing is going to fit onto the bit. Now, if the bit diameter, this right here is 8.5, is drag the tape across the top, and you can see that's 8.5 inches. 8.5 inches, that's well within where the default setting is. When you get this unit, it will be at the default setting will be set for this size and up, all the way to like 14-inch diameter. And the upper strap will be in the upper position. So that means that right now, when this came to you, that will fit, because this is going to be the typical size. Let's see, what else do we need to cover? So the angle of the bit, the way it's rolled in, is not going to affect anything. What you want to know is if this number right here, okay, was less than 8 inches, then what we're going to have to do, and we're going to get to that, is we're going to move the feet on the back closer together, because you don't want the back of the unit bottoming out onto this bit. That's not the object of the game. So we'll get to that and we'll move it. But from the get-go, you can see real quickly, you look at this and you're like, okay, it's 8.5 inches diameter. Okay, and you run a tape up here and you can see it's 24 inches. So I see it's 24 inches. This looks good. There's no flange up top. So as it is, I know now, and also everything is in the manual, so we can follow along in the manual too. But you know that this is going to be fine. So we can take those measurements and go back and put this thing together. When we go to put this thing on and fit it to the bit, you don't have to use a tape measure. Some people, I don't want to use a tape measure. You take the unit and set it up there and see what's going on. So that's the other way to do it. But from the get-go, we're doing just a quick visual of where is this rescue going to happen. Let's say this was up on the bow. We've established that we're going to put this on the bow. There's no flange up top. That's good. The height is good. The diameter is good. So that unit will fit right on there, just like that right now. Again, if there was a flange on here coming off the top, something is going to have to change. So that means that that unit will not rest up against this unit. So it's going to need to be cleaned up, only in an area of about 6 inches. That's it. Clean it up. Any welds along here where the unit would touch out here, outboard, that needs to be cleaned up. Just touched up. And then once you get that under control, you can take your unit, put it on there, and test fit it. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fit it to the bit. We'll be right back on that. Okay, now that we have established which bit we're going to use, we feel good about it, and we measured it, we cleaned it up, whatever had to happen. I'm sorry if I elaborated a lot, but it's really important to get that bit figured out. Like I said, if it needed to be cleaned up, whatever. I'm glad that's done. Welcome. Now we can move into the unit. The unit comes with the upper strap in the upper position. Okay? And these 2 feet right here, come in the upper position. If you needed to, well, let me put it on. Let me just show you a test fit. So when you take this unit, and remember, in the book, it's talking about the tether. This tether line, you can use something small, it's like 6mm or 3/16. And you put it underneath this collar right here. Okay? Any way you want to do it. And it should have a loop. So once you put the line under the collar, this is for tethering it, and you've established that whatever, this is your bit that you're going to use. You want to have, when the person shows up, you want to be able to put it on the deck. When it's sitting on the deck, drop this tether line over the opposite side of where the unit's going to go. That's just in case so you can get that and retrieve it if anything went wrong. Okay, so now we're going to test fit this thing, and we've got our tether line. So we would drop it over. In the shop, we're probably okay. And when you go to put this on, okay, you can see these are the side stabilizers. Those things, they're always there. So remember we talked about this, how it's got to, you want to have those have good contact. They've got good contact, and I can see by looking at this that this thing fits real nice. There's no bottoming out. So if this was smaller, less than 8 inches, then we would need to move these feet in. But right now, we know we're good. Okay, so the top strap is good. The back feet, good. On this unit here, this is a demo unit. We've got more feet and an extra strap on here. That's just the way we use it. When you go to move the strap, 5/32 Allen wrench, 5/16 Allen wrench, 3/4 inch box wrench is what you need. The tools to do this whole thing. And some duct tape will really help you out. Now, on the top strap, if you wanted to relocate it to a lower position, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to use your Allen wrench. There's 4 screws here. Take those off. Take it off counterclockwise, obviously, and put it where this is right here. So you're going to relocate it down here. If it needed to go lower, remember you can use the measurement, the tape measure, because you can look at what the bit is, and you can come over here and see where you need to move the strap to if it needed to be moved. So if you move this strap, you're going to move the top strap, you move this to down here. In your little package, there's blue Loctite included. So Loctite those up. And on the other side over here, when you get over here, 5/16 Allen. The 5/16 Allen goes into the bolt. The 3/4 inch box goes on the inside. You take it off, and then you move it down. When you go to move this down into this position here, it's very difficult to get your hand in that channel. Highly recommend, pro tip, use a little duct tape. Take the duct tape, go over the end of the wrench, okay, like that. Take your nut and stick it in there. That way, when you go down in here, you're holding the nut and it's backed up to the duct tape and you can thread it to it. Much easier. On this strap right here, when you're tightening it, you want it to come off straight. You can see how that is right there. It's coming off straight. Tighten it up. You can use the Loctite again. Have it come off straight. All right. So now you've got that top strap moved. We're knocking down the chores. Now, on the back of this unit, you will see the feet. Again, we have more feet on here because this is a demo unit. So, if you move the top strap, you just moved it down to here, and this is all nice and straight, and that's all tightened up. You're going to need to move these feet down. Because if you don't, the thing will be back and forth weeble wobbling. Not good. This is your 5/32 Allen wrench. 5/32, you're going to put it into the bolt and twist it counterclockwise. You're going to take off the 2 bolts on one side. You're going to move it down into the same position, down lower. Do the same on the other one. Tighten them up. You can use your blue Loctite. You can see on this unit right here that there's extra set of holes. I don't know if you guys see that right there. You can see there's 2 sets of holes. Okay, you're going to want to use the outside set. If you were 8 inches and below, you're going to want to use the inside set. Does that make sense? Outside, inside. Okay. If you're less than 8 inches, you're going to use the inside diameter. 8.5 inches, using the outside. That's all in the manual as well. Those go on there. You tighten them up, put a little Loctite on, and you've got that done. Now what you've got is you've got the lower set that isn't going to move because it just stays where it is. The lower strap is fine. These stabilizer units are fine. So you've now relocated, if you needed to do it, you relocated your top strap and your top feet. That's done. And you've cleaned up the bit. You've cleaned up the bit. We know that the bit's cleaned up. And so you can see when you go to put the tether line on and all the work that you've done here, this goes on here like this and it goes against. It fits really well, okay? Just like that. And it really, at this point, it really wouldn't matter if the unit was tilted. You know, if it was rolled in, it wouldn't matter because it still fits the same way. Yeah, so that's, just remember, so we've selected the bit. If there was a top flange, we fixed that. And at the end of this thing, we want to make sure that the crew knows that this is the bit was selected. It's forward, it's aft, and where this is going to be stowed. Very, very key. And then we made sure that it fits on there flush. If there were little welds like we talked about, we would clean that up, touch up the flange. We just moved the top strap and we moved the top feet. We checked the fit and it fits really well. So next what we're going to do is we are going to go through what all these parts are. So the parts, we're going to start right down here at the bottom. And I want you guys to just be really comfortable with everything that's going on. All right. This is the main body. This whole, it's not channel, it's actually tubing. It's rectangular tubing. This body holds everything together. The feet are on here, the strap is on here, and these side stabilizers are on here, okay? The tubing also holds the whole front assembly, so it holds the whole thing together. It's strong, it's rigid, it doesn't twist. What I was saying earlier is you don't want the tubing, the bit, to bottom out against this. If it bottoms out against this, then these would need to be moved to make sure that's not happening. Shouldn't happen. So you've got side stabilizers. You don't have you only get four feet, 2 up, 2 down. You've got only two straps. You've got a bottom strap that's down there like that. Okay. This is the bottom strap. Okay. When you get this, a lot of times this strap is twisted. So what is it? It's in the manual. You can have this when it's on, or you can do it like this. You're going to put the hook goes away from the unit. The hook goes away from the unit. You're going to put it in here like this, okay? And then you're going to take your strap, and your strap is straight. You can see the strap is straight. You're going to thread it into and back out, just like a belt. That's done. So even if it was messed up, crossed up, whatever, you just fixed it. When you put this strap on, okay, the bottom strap is going to go around the bit. It's going to go into this, okay? When this clamp is open, that's in the open position. You're going to pull this tail tight against the bit, and then close it. Now when you close these things, you really want to have a nice tension, not easy. You want to have a little oomph to this thing. So that's, and then we'll show you. We're going to put it on later, but we're just going through it nice and slow. This strap gets stowed because you're going to put this on second. The top strap goes on first. The bottom strap gets stowed in this channel right here. Okay, that's best practice. You can also see that there's a little piece of Velcro on the side. The Velcro is to keep it from wandering around. So you're just going to keep that from going anywhere. Okay? The top strap, you either moved it. You only get one of these. So whichever one. The top strap is here. When you get this unit, it's not going to be threaded. Okay, so this is in the manual, but I want to make sure that we're really on the same page here. So if I turn this like this, okay, this unit is going to go straight, and it's going to go right into the back of this unit. So it's actually closest to the clamp right here. Goes in and then it goes back out. Okay, so, and just leave it loose. That's done. That right there is done. The bottom strap is done. You move the feet. You know that this is cleaned up. Really all that's going on now, and you figured out the tether line. The tether line. So now we're going to move this thing around here like this. And we're going to walk you through the parts. Alright? This is the lower spindle assembly. Lower. Upper spindle assembly. Inside here, you'll see this gear right here. Okay? This is connected to this right here. That's a worm drive. That keeps this so this will not turn until you tell it to turn. This is a furling handle that moves this back and forth. You can't see it, but this worm gear is cut out inside here so that any torquing that would incur, it's compensated for inside the channel. So the way you move this is with this handle. It goes back and forth. Typically, best practice to leave it in this out position like this. It's ready to go and be deployed. All right. So worm gear, furling handle, lower assembly, upper assembly. This piece right here, this is where the davit connects to. When you get this, it's going to look just like this. So you're going to take this off, okay? You're going to take this off, and you're going to put the davit into it. The davit, this is the davit right here, okay? This is the davit. This is 6 foot, 8 inches long, the davit. There's a wrong way and a right way. That's where the tension line connects. That is in the up position, up. So let's up, down. So this is in the up position, okay? When this goes in the up position, it just literally slides right into that. And we will put that on, not right this second. And then you pin it, and then you put the nut and bolt on there. And again, 5/16, 5/16, because I get this from people, how do I do it? Okay, 5/16 goes into here. The nut goes on, it's a nylock, not this, the one you get will have been nylock. And then you're going to use your wrench. You're going to use your wrench and you're going to tighten it, okay? You can put some Loctite on there, the Loctite that it comes with. Good. Now, we've got that taken care of. Up here, that davit, once it's connected, okay? Once it's connected, it will always be connected, all right? This is the tension line right here. The tension line comes off. You can see right here underneath. The tension line is always connected, always. There's no need to ever take it off. This right here, the end of this, once it's all opened up, okay, you would get it and it would be like this. You're going to uncoil it. Okay, uncoil it. There's your tension line, red tension line, all right? This goes into that davit. You're gonna pull the pin, put this in, put it in, and have the pin go through, okay? So what that is as you look at this, okay, you're gonna pull the pin, this goes in here, this pin goes through there, okay, and then you reconnect it. That's connected. Everyone good with that? Okay, let's go a little slower. Okay, so this goes into here, that's whole. The pin goes through the whole thing. If you're struggling, okay, play with the eye and open it up so that it opens it up. And it goes in here and you pin it. That's connected and it's already connected down there. Done. Alright? Next. When this is connected, this lives in this place right here. This is your davit gate. So it's all connected. It comes up here and it closes. This is your davit gate with a pin. All right, that's how it stays. Perfect. The tension line is set for bits that are rolled in, okay? If you have a bit that's at a 90 like this, this line will probably be too long. So what you're gonna do is think of it like you're gonna move a barge and you drop your eye over the bit and you take up slack. Same idea. This is going out like this. When it's on the bit, we will adjust it soon. You wrap your line around these buttons, just like that, until you get the desired length or height of the davit boom. Okay, you want the davit boom to be at about 45 degrees. All right, so next up here we have this rope clutch. Okay, this is open, closed, open, closed. All right, when you get your line, this line like this is your standard 45 feet of 10 millimeter lift line. I know it looks like sailboat stuff. 6,500 pounds braking strength. This right here is Spectra. This is Spectra. It's 6 millimeter, 6,500 pounds braking strength. When you go to put this in, first you would have put it in through the davit, okay? And we will do all this very soon. The tension line is coming in here. The lift line is coming from the opposite side. Comes in like this, okay? Comes in like this. Okay, and there are really nice pictures about this in the manual as well. Okay, it's coming from that side, from the end of the boom. You're going to take this and put it into your rope clutch. And sometimes it requires just a little, in this case I can't really see it. Goes in here like this. Okay, and then it comes out. Let me turn this like this. You guys can see what's going on here. So you put your line in here. Now you can see when it's open, it goes back and forth. When you close this, it cannot back out. It's done. All right. So when you're ready to use this, closed. Okay. When it comes in like this is the winch. This is a 20-to-1, 1-speed self-tailing winch. Self-tailing meaning there's a self-tailing arm and the line will spool off right back here. You don't have to tend it. So when you put this on, there is an arrow on the top here. I'll show you. There is an arrow. That is the direction to wrap the line clockwise. So you're going to wrap it 4 times. So you're going to pull the line as you need. You're going to wrap it like this 4 times. Let's get enough line here. All right. Let's get enough line. Perfect. Wrap this around here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Then you're going to take your line and go over that arm, over the arm. That's the tailing arm. And then you can see these jaws right here. These jaws are spring-loaded. So this goes over into these jaws, okay? And that's it. Done. So when you go to your handle, this is a standard 8-inch. We do have 10-inch available for more leverage. Lever, spring-loaded. This goes into this top like that. When you go to heave this in, you can see this line spooling right off. You don't have to tend it at all. Okay? Simple. That's really all your pieces right there. I mean, so next we're going to go through putting it on the bit. All right. Okay, we're going to take this unit off of here, off the table, and we're going to use our little mock bit. This has got the nice rolled in 8 degrees This is 2 feet tall, 10 3/4 diameter. That's a very standard bit size that you're going to see. Valor class, well, you're going to see it mostly. And some bits will be a little more rolled in. So that's the idea. Now, because it's a shop, and in the manual we do tell you to put this against the gate surface and then put the davit on. So we're going to do it this way to make life a little easier for us. It's all about us. So we're going to put this on here like this, okay? And we're just really going to just hold it right there for a second, because what we want to do is put this davit together. Now remember, when this thing comes, you want to take out the pin in the bottom, meaning the nut and bolt. And if this was off to the side, like this, over to the side, we're going to roll it out to the center, meaning it's going out this way. It's in line with this whole thing, okay? All right, now we're going to take this davit. We talked about this is up. You can also see there's a little screw here. That goes up. So this just goes, we're going to put this down here like this. You set it in there and you put the pin through. The nut goes on. Remember, it's a 5/16 Allen, 3/4 inch. Tighten it up. Perhaps a little blue Loctite on there would have been awesome. All right, now it's laying down to make your life a lot easier. What we're going to do is we're going to pick it up, right? On its way up, we're going to put this in. Remember, this is the tension line. You know, if this thing comes and it's not quite open, then open it. All right? Goes into the top slot. The pin, if it's not out already, should be. The pin goes through. Okay? You can see how it's pinned. You're going to put a keeper in there. Sometimes that comes with a cotter pin. All right? This goes up here. That is connected. Perfect. This is what we're going to do to make our life a little bit easier here in the shop. Okay, now we're pinned. Now, right. Okay, the next thing we need to do is put the line on. Remember, this is the line, okay? This is the end that we're going to thread. This is the hook end. Some people always ask about the hook. That's a hook. Spring loaded. Not too tough. That's a stopper ball. The stopper ball is there because when you heave it up, you're going to bring the stopper ball all the way in up to the shiv. That again is in the manual. And then when you need more height, when it's alongside the boat, you can top the tip of this davit up. All right. So this, we're going to drop down. We're going to put this in up here like this. Now, you can see that this goes, the way this is going is the opposite. If this is the tension line, okay, this is coming in from the water side. So this is going in like this. It's coming down. Okay? We go to put this in. The other thing you want to do, now that you've got this line going like this, it's a good thing to open this davit gate. Hold on to things, okay? You want to make sure that your lines are all crossed up. Okay, so we're in good shape. So we can put this back, we can repin this. It's not really a big deal if it's crossed up, it's another step you don't need to do. Okay, so this, remember this is the rope clutch or rope brake. Open, closed, open. The other thing that's nice about this rope brake is a secondary. It's the brake, but you also have the jaws. You see how this is a little bit of a bear? You roll it. Okay. That comes in there like that. The other thing that's nice about this is you can tell guys, it's got a click. You hear that? Click. All right. So, it has the arrow on here because if someone said, even though looks fairly intuitive, not sure which way to go. Line wrap, and it has an arrow. So we're going to go 4 wraps, 3, 4, over the arm, into these jaws, and we're done. When you're done, you want to really have about a foot to the bitter end, because you want all your working line out. Okay? That's that. The rest of this line is all ready to go. When you stow this line, it should be all stowed neatly. Nice small coils. You can use a Velcro piece. You can put it around here. You can put it to the pole. You can put it to just about anywhere when you stow this. Okay. What we're going to do next is we are going to show you when you go to put this thing on. Now that we've got this thing all connected, all right? When you go to put this thing on, okay? You go to put this thing on, you're putting it down. Remember, the very first maneuver that you did was you dropped this tether line on the opposite bit than the one you're using, the tether. Okay? Now, this thing, even if you've got it on here like this, you're still secure. But what you're going to do is you're going to get it, you've already checked your bit, you know you're good. So you're going to pull this tight. This is open. Pull this tight like this, and then you're going to close this. Now we talked a little bit about the tension, right? Let's go a little bit more. Okay, so you see how I'm going like this? That's really not very tight, okay? So each person's going to say, well, I think it should be a little tighter. It should be as tight as you can make it. You know? I mean, put a little oomph into it. That is secure. This isn't going anywhere. I really want you to see this. You're going to take this top, you're going to take the bottom strap with the hook. Take that Velcro. See, that Velcro just keeps it out of your way. Okay? So this is ready to go, and you would just bring this around, okay, and then put it in. So I just really wanted you guys to be able to see that, so that's very clear. When you put this thing in, this goes away from the bit, okay? Once it's all tight, I mean the clamp is open, my bad, you're going to pull this. You see how that goes? You're going to pull that. Okay, and then close the clamp. When you go to take this off, you're going to do just the opposite. You're going to open the clamp, okay, and then you're going to put your hand right here on these right here, and you're going to loosen it. Then take the hook out and stow it inside here, because you're going to take the bottom one off first. Okay, so we're going to spin this around here like this. Okay. Now, we took it out of the tubing, and we're putting it over here into this open clamp. See the clamp? See, that's closed. Okay? This is open. Open, closed. Open, closed. So with it open, and this hook goes away from the bit. Not towards it, but away. We're going to put it into this. Okay, like this. We're open. Remember, we're going to pull the tail. Pull the tail until it's tight. Now what we're going to do is close this. See how that's some tension on there. Boom, that's done. When you go to take this off, it's the opposite. This comes open, okay? Your hands on this little guy right here. And then take this off. That's that. That's how that goes. So this just goes in here like this. Okay. Tighten it up. There is an elastic piece here to stow that in there. If you had it set, you could cut some of this tail off. Okay, so that goes like that. Boom. You've got the top, got the lower. Remember, this is just here for demonstration purposes. If you moved it, it would be there now. All right. Best pet practice is to keep this always in this position, because now you're ready to go. So what you want to do is pull the pin, okay? Hold on to the davit, pull the pin, lower this down. Now you will see how that's going all the way down. Okay, so what's going to happen is, your first time doing this, that's what you're going to look at, okay? The object of this, now that everything's on and secured, what we want to do is lift this up. We ultimately want to have the lift line clear all the tires and fenders out here, okay? We want to have this lifted up to where that will accomplish that. So you can start by taking wraps on these buttons. Remember we talked about this, the buttons down here. Boom. And not enough, okay? So we're going to go again. And we're getting close. And maybe I just want to do a little round turn. That's probably pretty perfect. I check it with the line. The line is now clear. If the line is not clear, then you need to go lower, okay? That is all set, ready to go every time, just like that. That's your one-time deal. Now, handle. We talked about this before. Spring loaded. Spring loaded. It's a lever. Spring. Goes in the top. It's locked in. Okay, that stays there. It's the best practice. This unit is now ready to go. Your first time, you were going to check out this spring, the tension line, okay? So from now on, this thing is ready to go, okay? So your line is coiled up neatly, and incidentally, there are some boats where you're putting this unit on the bow, up on the shoulder, and you obviously are going to walk aft with the rescue pole that we'll get to next. The thing about it is, you may be walking aft because you're going lower all the time on a tugboat. You may need a longer line. So just tell us about that from the get-go. So, when you go to deploy this, now that it's all set, your line is back here out of the way. You're holding on to this. Your davit gate opens, and there it is. That's done. It's set. It's ready to go. The next maneuver will be to take the hook, put it into the rescue pole, and then do your maneuvering. When you go to get all, you can see all this slack, you're going to get all this slack, right? All right. You can take this out of here like this if you want, and you're just going to hold it like this, as fast as you can. Until you get tension, the body's at the end of this, okay? Now you can see that your wraps are a little bit messy. So, tighten them up, okay? 4, you're going to go over this tailing arm, back into the jaws. You have tension down there, and then you're going to start heaving them up. You can see the way that line spools off there. You don't need to tend it at all, okay? Now, here's the other thing. When you take this line up, when you lift them up, okay, you're going to lift them until that green stopper ball is at the end, okay? Again, we're tightening up our wraps. You would have already been lifting them, okay, over the arm into the jaws, okay? You would have already been lifting them. Now, once you bring them to the side, right, you come over to the side of the boat. Usually it's easier to go aft. If you're up on the shoulder bits, you would swing them aft because you're going downhill usually, all right? Okay, so you get them to the side of the boat. You feel like you need more height. So you continue winching. Now that that's tube locked on the end, you're going to lift like this, and you will see that you're topping up. Do you see how you're topping that up? Okay. So the person is now coming up out of the water. They're up and they're right here at the side of the boat, and you bring them aboard. Now, here's the thing. This tension line, you're not on this tension line anymore. You're on only the lift line. So once the person is back aboard and they're right here, what you need to do is lower them. What you want to do is never take the wraps off the winch open without this being open. This gets open first. Okay, now you're in full control. You're going to take this off slowly, you're going to lower them, lower the person. When you're lowering the person, remember, you're lowering this davit boom as well, okay? So just be mindful of that, okay? Now you're back on the tension. Okay? That's that. I think we're good. Hopefully you guys are good with this. Hopefully this makes sense. Our email address, info at c-hero.com. You can always call me or get me. We've got our number on the website. We want this to be really clear, and we want everyone to understand what is happening here. Remember, we started, let's do a quick review. We started with the bit. This whole system goes on the bits. So it has to, the bit has to fit this unit. If it doesn't fit from the get-go, then it's going to have to be cleaned up to fit it. So we went through that. The strap, the top strap, may need to be relocated. And we went through that. Take the wrenches, move that. This one, and you're going to move it down. If you decide, or if it's determined you need to move it, remember you're going to move the top feet to that lower position. That should be set up, and remember, you always want to have these stabilizers to have good contact. And that should be it. That and the tether line. The tether line, remember, tether line goes down first. You can take this off, take your tether line off, it's all stowed, it's ready for the next use. So next what we're going to do is we're going to cover the rescue pole. Okay guys and girls, we are now going to move on to the rescue pole. So the VR12 rescue pole. Okay, when you get this, it comes with a hoop. This is 3/4 inch aluminum, okay? The hoop, and it comes with 2 6-foot poles that connect with a pin each. The poles and the hoop are foam filled, so they float. At the end of one of the poles, the far end, you can tether it so that it won't go away from the boat. You can have it pre-tethered with a small thing. So on the hoop, you're going to see there's 3 snaps, okay? And then there are 2 rubber side blocks, okay? That's what makes this whole thing happen, right there. And then this comes just like this. You've got this red 2-inch webbing, okay? And you've got a lifting triangle, and that will be where your hook, your spring-loaded hook, from the lift line of your rescue davit, or it could be of your own davit. Whatever you've got going on. But however you're going to lift this person, it gets connected there. All right. What is actually happening here, and of course we will show you this whole thing, is this thing fits inside here. This is the slide buckle, and the slide buckle basically it goes down here towards you're pushing it towards the person. Okay, you're using this pole to push them down like this. Now what's nice about this is it's a one-way, okay? It can't back out, okay? Does that make sense? So you're using this pole, you would be holding back on your line and using the pole to push like this, and once it's to the person, it can't back out. You see, it can't back out. All right, so when we go to load this, we're going to start with this buckle, the slide buckle. We're going to put it in like this, okay? This is our demo unit. The one that you guys get actually has a really nice piece of plastic on the front that has 2 nuts, 7/16 nut, that you can tighten and control the tension that holds this slide buckle in there. So really a nice deal. So you want to make sure that this is not twisted. Twisted would be like this, okay? And not paying attention. That's not good, okay? So just make sure that it's not twisted. You see how that's not twisted? Okay, good. I usually start with the center, go over here to the far. Okay, so you've got that in there. Now what you're going to do, this is kind of a key thing that you really want to do. I'm going to show you wrong and I'm going to show you right. The wrong way is to just go like this, okay? To just put that in there. Because it looks like it's in there, but it's really not, okay? Because it comes out way too easy. And if that brushed on the body, okay, if that's in here like this, it can come out too easy, way too easy. So, what I recommend to do is kind of take the unit like this and go down on that rubber in there like that. And you can even peel this back, and you want that under the lip. That's how you want to do it. So again, the easiest way to do it is to take the unit, and you could go up here to the top, I guess, if you wanted to, and then come down to the bottom. I think it's easier to go at the bottom and put it in here, fold it back, and you're there. Okay? You can load this pretty fast, but it's really key. It's not real difficult, but it's key that it's loaded correctly. If it's not loaded correctly, this can come out way too easily. When you're using this pole, practice. I tell guys all the time, take it to a low float. Something low, start there, no prop wash, you're not in between jobs. Just take your time. You might even want to take it to the pool and have fun with it. But the idea is to get the person inside this hoop. So you're going to try and get this over one arm first, and then the head, and then down the body, back up to get underneath the arms. Okay? Once you're there, you're going to hold this piece back here against the back of the person's back, okay? Against their back. This is under their arms. Then you're going to hold back on your line and push. And when you push, you're going to push this whole thing like this, and it will all come apart just like that. And then all you're going to do is back the pole out, and you're pre-connected. Okay, that's how that goes. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you on our little statue bit on the bench here, and how that goes down with a person. In the manual, I might add, there's some nice pictures and tidbits about using this unit. It's really easiest to not just take this out for your once-a-month drills, because the davit, the rescue davit, once the rescue davit is set, you should be able to put that on the bit in about 30 seconds and deploy it, and it's all ready to go. This thing here would be preloaded, and you're going to hook in your hook, and that's easy to go. However, the guy really has to have a little skill set to use this, and it's not difficult, but your first couple times are going to be so what I'm saying is practice any way you can, because once you get this down, it gets just much easier. Now, the other thing about this pole, I will say, is that the pole is, like I said, 3/4 inch aluminum. It's durable. This is a durable pole. So if the body, and you have two 6-foot poles that make it a long, you can get way out there. So what you want to do, okay, and you'll notice the snaps are down here on this end. So if you need to get to someone, you're going to pull them. You're going to pull them to you, okay? And then you can use the back edge of this to move them around how you need to move them around. Use the back edge and then pull them into you. Get them to where you want them to be, all right? Stabilize it to where they're not the thing's not moving all over the place. Then you go in and you do your thing. I always say it's like surfing. You're going to surf this thing on there. And ultimately, you're going to end up with the strap will be on the body, okay? You're going to be free of this hoop. The hoop drops, and you can get it out of the way. Sometimes you can get it out of the way right then, and that works. Or sometimes you're just going to leave it like it is, and the body will come up through the hoop. It's kind of your call, because every single situation is different. But next what we're going to do is we're going to put this together. We're going to connect the poles, and then we're going to connect the hook line into this whole thing. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you, of course, on the bench. Again, this is the hook. All right, this is the hook, and of course we would not be out here in the water in the normal deal. But we're just showing you in the shop, and this is a teaching format. So this is a spring-loaded hook. I don't know why some people struggle with this. It comes like this. It's spliced. The stopper ball, it's ready to go. Spring-loaded. This hook, after you've got all that on and you have your nice, neatly coiled line, you're going to take this hook like this, and it just goes in like that. Boom. Okay? That's it. And that's done. All right. Now the two poles, I'm not going to connect them because they come and it's very intuitive. They go into the unit and one gets pinned, and then the other one fits into the other end and it gets pinned. Now you'll see on this pole, our demo pole, we have a little line here, right? Okay, so we have just a little, what your pole comes with is a hole. So you can put any kind of tether you want. So if we want, and occasionally we do, we'll just tie a line on here and it's tethered. Okay, they do float, but it is tethered. All right. So this is the V-cleat right here. Now the V-cleat is kind of a new thing to some people. So when it's together, this line is coming up to the tune of 6 feet or so. So you went through one pole and you're just into the second pole. So what happens with the V-cleat is if you didn't have the line in the V-cleat, it would be down there in the hoop because you've already pre-connected this, and it would just be flopping all over the place. It would be right in your way. So what that does is it basically, as everything's connected, the line just goes into this. It fits right into this like this. Okay, so you can keep this tight. You don't want to deploy it, but you want it to be nice and snug. And you can see that you can't. It won't come out. Okay, so that's what the V-cleat is. It's just a jam cleat. That's really all it is. So when you go to use this whole thing, remember you've got the poles, and we talked about practice at the dock. Because I don't think it's a good idea to get this stuff and have it all fixed up and just go do an MOB drill. I really think that you got to practice with this, because once you do an underway drill and there's wash or current and it's just, you may or may not get the results you want. So I think do a dockside, play with this thing right here, and that just does. It's just a davit, so that's not that big of a deal. But I would play with it at the dockside. When you're using this, okay, your line, remember, is in that V-cleat. So you're surfing this thing on the person, right? So one arm, head, down the body until they get past the second arm, okay? And then you're going to come back up because you're there where you need to be. And you want this to be against their back, okay? So if I was to put this on, the person's floating, you're getting one arm, the head, okay? And then you're coming down here, down, clear, now you're clear. So now you're coming back up. Okay, so that's what it looks like, just like that. Okay, you're back up. Okay, so with that being said, when you get this where you want it to be, If this was the person, okay, right here, you would take the line out of the V-cleat, okay, and you're going to push, because you're under the armpits, you're going to push this like this until it gets tight, back it off, release it, drop it, and that's done. Okay? Remember we talked about this, one-way slide buckle, okay? That's not backing out. You're already pre-connected. There's going to be slack in the water or wherever, you know, in the water. You're going to get to your winch. You're going to pull all that slack until there's tension. And if the body was back aft and you're dragging it to the front, it's not a big deal, it's in the water. So you're pulling all the slack out, pulling the person along. This is underneath their arms, okay? And then up they come. They come up, the stopper ball, remember, the stopper ball is going to go to the end of the shiv, the pulley. Then we'll stop. Then we're going to bring him to the side of the boat. And then if we need more height, not always, we can continue cranking with the winch handle and it will tip that davit up. And get them. And then we talked about this also. If you did that, you need to release the rope clutch first and then take wraps off of the winch and surge it out. Remember that davit boom will be coming down with them. And that's really about it. The only other thing I want to add that we're just now getting that is very cool is we have a mount for this whole unit. And the mount fits into the back of that unit in between those feet that go to the bit. The mount is HDPE plastic and it fits right in there, sort of a male-female connector. It's a real nice deal. So it goes up against the bulkhead and basically that unit it drops down and that unit is resting on the deck. It just takes 3 bolts. They can be drilled and tapped or the studs can be welded. Then that's out of the way. We also have a 2-part cover for this available coming out. And that's really about it. And of course with the mount and the cover we'll have directions. But I'm just saying it's coming. It's like, how would you store? Some boats have like a nice little closet or, you know, little cabinet, and that's what they want to do. That's fine. We do have the mount available though. So any questions, feel free to call us, email us. You can Skype us. You can do just about any way. We want you guys to succeed. We really do. But this video is really just all about we can't be everywhere at one time. So hopefully this helps. And if there's some part of this that didn't work, then just let us know. We're here for you. Be safe out there, guys. Thanks. This guy's in the water, right? In the water. It's unconscious.
We don't want it back, but that's optimal. That's it back.
You're gonna break. See, we're working this pole. Get this thing where you want it. You got a plan. You're gonna come in here like this, okay? And all you're gonna do is snap this thing. Okay? Now, this thing is on float. I'm just gonna take the pull out of it. This guy is deck. Now all you gotta do with this. About a radial winch. It pulls out, back in your block, get this thing set.
Okay, what's the maximum lift?
This is 350 right now, but I think we can do 500.
To block it.
So you're just going to pump them up.